Okay, go.
Oh,
wait, let me. Sorry, I forgot we're classy. Hey guys, what's going on? Justin Bossnasti Silva, representing Call of Duty eSports. We're here at MLG Dallas 2013. This is the end of day 2. You see this face. I have found a familiar individual, man. This is a sexy beast that we have right now. Sir, what's your name? What are you doing here, Dallas?
Hey guys, I'm Andreas. I go by Nexy. I'm working for ASTRO Gaming, and we're making a video about Envious. We're making a video about Optic Gaming, and perhaps some EG and TSM mixed in there as well.
Nexy, continue with what you were saying about. I told you I was going around. I was interviewing these people, asking them what's the most pointless shit people tweet on Twitter in the COD community, or who starts the most drama, and then you were going to say?
Well, it's not pointless. It's drama and it's culture, right? And you look at the TMZs, you look at magazines, right? It's a lot of influence type of stuff. And I've always imagined that the people who are close enough to have the stories from these niche communities, right? The people at the ground level who are here at this tournament either are too dumb or not creative enough to realize that their stories are interesting. Yeah. So it's cool that we have bossnasti coming here and going, who's the wackest person on Twitter, or whatever you ask.
I do speed runs, bro. Yep. Like, I catch people on the spot. Yes. Like, there's no time to think. They just have to give me the first thing that comes to their mind, and then like they turn around, they're like, oh my god.
And a lot of these kids have personalities online, right? So they all have fakes of themselves. So if you go up to them and do the speed run,
yeah,
they can't fake it anymore, and you're getting the real personality.
You've been to so many MLG events. First off, what do you think about the new layout?
Well, League and StarCraft really hasn't changed, yeah, right? But and Call of Duty has changed, but it's going back to an old format we used to see with Halo. When MLG introduced that setup in 2006, that's when they blew up. That's when it got crazy, and for some reason they took it away. So obviously they learned from their mistake and they put it back, and that's what really makes MLG is the audience over there.
Yeah. So many Halo fans were always asking for the bleachers, like they wanted that shit back. And they brought it for COD. Okay, I just want to know, because I'm sure you might have something to say about this, right? They didn't bring it back for Halo, but they bring it back for COD. What the fuck's going on?
That's a hot subject right now, dude.
I know.
I don't blame some of the Halo dudes for being a little pissy.
Salty.
But they need to keep it to themselves. Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. MLG did them dirty, dude.
because you know they be on Twitter, man. They see the pictures and people are like, oh my god, bleachers! And they're just like, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
There were petitions for bleachers. Like, MLG took the bleachers away from Halo and gave them seats because they thought it was going to work like StarCraft. They didn't work. Just didn't work. Yeah. They're also blasting commentary over the audience, which they didn't do for Halo either.
Yeah, and they said, hey, here's the soundproof headset, here's the earbuds.
So you saw the Halo community get up in arms. They were posting about it, starting petitions. They were going crazy. And the day they pick up Call of Duty, all that stuff's back. So interesting move by MLG, but it's for the better.
What was the first event you attended? Because a lot of people don't know your history, right? Can you give us a background real quick?
Yep, I went to Philly 04. So 2004, when you brought your own TV out of your trunk, you got $5 off and a sticker for bringing your TV. Yeah. And that's kind of where I started, and I've been to countless events since then. Fortunate enough to get a job with MLG back in the day, and I was able to travel with them. So not any longer. But over the years, I'll just pinpoint one moment so I don't ramble. Yeah. The last event of 2005 was in Jersey City, New Jersey, and it was this little ballroom, and it was dope. They had like velvet robes, and like only the top players were there, and it was dope. But it was in the hood, but it was dope. And I was like, this is so sick, man. MLG's gonna make it. And then the first event of 2006, so when they picked up all this venture capital money, and they really got their shit together and made a business and moved to New York, their next event was at Javits Center in New York. And you walked in and I got chills up my spine. And I thought Jersey was dope. 06, all of this is just an extension of what they were doing in 2006.
Okay.
If you saw the 2005 venue, you wouldn't recognize it. So I remember walking into the venue in 2006 and just getting fucking chills, dude. And I knew I was gonna be doing this for a while.
How has the community evolved? Have nerds just become more dickish, or are people becoming more open? Like, what's going on here?
Is the right word devolved? There's no evolution in the community. Back in the day, you didn't play for money, right? You played for a couple bucks, but you played because you wanted to play against this dude that you heard communicates with his twin brother through their brains. You wanted to play the rumors. You wanted to see Strange Purple, a Halo player who never missed, and he didn't miss when you showed up. Now you come to the event to get a Dr. Pepper sponsorship, right? Yeah. People are playing for money. They want to be on the main stage, yada, yada, yada. Yeah. Back in the day, you wanted to show up and represent, like, I wanted to represent New Jersey. Yeah. And I wanted to show the Ohio kids how New Jersey played Halo. Yeah. Or Call of Duty or whatever it might be.
See wise words. This is a man, Nexy, in himself that has obviously seen this shit from the beginning. You've seen the community evolve. You've seen the events evolve. Not doing anything with MLG anymore. But what happened after that, and then kind of what are you doing right now in the present?
Sure. So I worked for MLG for 5 years. I did a lot of video broadcasting. I did, I was on camera. I did a slew of things for MLG. And one day I lost my mind. I was, born and raised on the East Coast. I was working in Manhattan, and it's really aggressive out there. And I go to myself, I'm like, fuck it, right? I woke up one morning, I walked into Sundance's office, and I told him I'm moving to California.
Yeah.
For the next 3 months, I just drove up and down the West Coast until I ran out of money, and that's when ASTRO Gaming offered me a job to be creative, and that's what I like to do. I like to create, so they let me make their videos and all their content. So I'm the content manager over at ASTRO, and it's my job to show you the brand and kind of define the brand a little bit too when I'm lucky.
What's been going on with ASTRO lately?
Absolutely. So that's my job, is to produce that content, right? So you're seeing my work.
Yeah.
And last year we really just threw everything at the wall and saw what stuck. Okay. So we produced 3D videos with a group out of LA called We Are Wendell, who does these fantastic 3D models and super highly produced. You could throw it on TV and people would think it's like, you know what I mean, it's the real deal. It is the real deal. Yeah. And then we'll go to PAX with some authentic gamer like a Lisa Malambre, yeah, or you know, somebody like you, and do hosted content. Yeah. We come to MLG events and we tell you the story, similar to like what you do, the real story of Optic and how hard it is to hustle at these things. Okay. So we try to do a little bit of everything. Okay. And as for new direction, we announced that we're sponsoring Team Evil Geniuses, a prominent StarCraft team. I mean, they have a Dota team, even they're into fighting games. So that's our first real big step into the PC space. Yeah. But also TSM got announced a few days ago. So Team Solo Mid, my personal favorite League of Legends team. Okay. So yes, definitely ASTRO is branching out, and we're excited to show you guys what we're going to do this year too.
For a lot of these gamers, right, they come to these events, how are we going to create more opportunities and become more innovative in helping gamers promote themselves, their brand, and being able to allow them to make a living gaming and create more opportunities for them to do so? But like, why don't they put like their team Twitters on the main stage? Why don't they say, hey, at Optic Gaming versus at HexP Gaming? League Play, right, with Black Ops 2 now, they got some esports features in there. Wouldn't it be cool if you could go on like the League Play ladder and you could highlight over one of the teams that shows you the players on the teams, but then right next to it shows the Twitters? Do you think that promotion is just so, like, people just, I don't know, people don't give a shit, or maybe they just don't want to help out the people that play their games? What is it?
I think this is a loaded question. Yeah. So I might answer this different tomorrow. Okay. I really like that idea, right? Yeah. If I get my ass whooped online when I'm playing League Play, and I'm like, dude, I don't think anyone's heard of this guy. Like, who the fuck is it? And I feel like I found this guy. You know what I mean? He whooped my ass first. I go on Twitter, I make friends with him. Now I found that player, right? So it's definitely an interesting idea. I think I got to adjust a little bit to figure out why they don't do that. Yeah. Maybe it's because we need people like you who are selfless. You know what I mean?
What games do you enjoy watching, and maybe why?
I mean, I'm a Halo player at heart, but I've always made it a point since 2001 when I really got into the tournament scene. To any game you could play for money, I'm gonna do my best to at least understand the level that these guys are playing at. I mean, I've played in Street Fighter tournaments, Smash tournaments, Gears tournaments, Call of Duty tournaments,
Smash.
Halo tournaments. Yeah, I've won a Mario Kart tournament. Like, if I think you can make money playing a game, I've attempted to play at a high level, and I found most success through Halo. In terms of watching, right now when I'm playing at home, I'm playing League of Legends. I just like the game.
Dude, I feel you.
It took me 3 months. I hated it for 3 months, but again, back to that grind, right? Like, people are playing this for money. I need to understand. Yeah. I can watch some StarCraft. I'm kind of bored of it. I've been watching it for a long time. Yeah. But Call of Duty this weekend, that's absolutely my favorite to watch, for sure.
One of the big answers I've been getting to this question, which is, hey, what's something that MLG can add to their event, right? What's some constructive criticism people have? The consensus I've been getting is that people want more activities. Yeah. They want more boosts. They want more spectator things to do, even for gamers in between matches. Do you agree with that? If so, why?
I think this even ties back to your question about like helping each other out and promotion. Something that I don't really feel like anyone's done this right. Sure, we're gaming, but we got to figure out how do we integrate lifestyle, right? When you go home, you game all day, but you also are you know, fashionable enough to match your sneakers to your shirt right now.
Thank you.
So I can tell that you're into fashion, right?
Thank you, yeah.
I grew up with snowboarding and skateboarding. Yeah. I'm also into fashion. Yeah. If you go to a skateboarding or like a skate park, there's people bumping music. Like, it's lifestyle, and right now we're focusing a little too hard on gaming. And I'm pumped that Full Sail is out here, right? Putting money in the scene. I don't think it would hurt if we had fucking a Benny Gold, you know, selling T-shirts right there. Yeah. Sure, it has nothing to do with gaming, but it promotes lifestyle, man. Because a lot of, you know, there's a lot of cool people here. Yeah. I think that MLG needs to not worry about make sure everything's relevant to gaming. When
people come to MLG events, I feel like even if you're just spectating, like, you'll buy your spectator pass, you'll come here, you'll kick it at the ropes, and like, you'll get bored in like a fucking hour or two just because that's all you're doing. You kick it at the ropes, maybe you go spend 10, 15, 20 minutes checking out a few of the booths, but then you're back at the ropes, you're just watching games, maybe you go to the main stage, but that's it. Yeah. You check out a few booths, but really it's just the pit, the main stage, hotel, back, do it again.
Look, there's a motor, you know, an auto convention going on next door. Did you pass it?
Yeah, I saw it. And they had the Mary Kay thing with all the makeup. Yeah. There's some ladies.
So I went into this motor, you know, this car show. I've never been to a car show in my life. I haven't even owned a car in the last 7 years. Yeah. I live in the city, right? I walked in there, and the dopest thing there wasn't the cars, right? When you walk in here, the dopest thing's the video games, no doubt. When I walked in there, the coolest thing wasn't the cars. It was those fucking Asian racer model girls, dude. Oh, they were banging, and people were lining up to get the autograph of the girls and not take pictures of the cars. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I think if you start integrating some wacky stuff, be a little, fuck it, throw something crazy in here, you might see something else emerge, you know what I mean? Okay. We'll find the tie, just show us something. So we actually just launched our, it's cool, we launched an apparel line, and we put a lot of effort into...
it's not just cool, it's banging. Like, y'all need, like, I saw the video, that shit was awesome.
Okay, I'm not speaking for Astro, I'm speaking for me. My whole career is based on making gaming cool. How can I make this thing not only accessible to people, but make it so this dude right here isn't as nerdy as people think he is, okay? And me too, I'm a nerdy dude. The apparel line is, I believe, is the furthest that anyone's pushed gaming into lifestyle and cool. I swear by it. Go to youtube.com/astrogaming, watch the video of the lookbook, watch the Photoshop by Curtis Buchanan. Curtis Buchanan also does the Supreme advertising. He's also done the Bape lookbook. So if you know these brands, that's the guy who did the Astro Gaming apparel. So there is tie. And I'm really proud when I say I don't think anyone's pushed gaming into that realm before.
Where do you want to see esports? Whether it's MLG, whether it's Nazzle, whether it's IEM, where do you want to see esports taken to?
There was a long time where I thought it had to be ESPN. I've been to Bristol, Connecticut to ESPN Studios 100 times to shoot MLG stuff because I was an advocate of that stuff when I was working there. I've realized, and you're going to think I'm ridiculous, WWF or WWE, whatever it's called now, watch that. It's the best production in the world and it's all fake. But if we had that, if that's the moments we love, you were asking about the drama. Let's make some fucking drama up. If Optic got on stage and they were like, listen, envious, or whatever, you know, whatever it is, right? And they had pyrotechnics coming out. It sounds ridiculous, but I promise you that's the next level. That shit's dope, dude.
When I was growing up, I used to watch a lot of that WWE, WWF shit. But for the longest time, I loved it. I was glued to the TV. I was always watching it. It was like really drawn in. I don't know what the fuck it was about it, but that actually makes a lot of sense now when I think about it.
That's just me. I think, you know, this is working. So even if it didn't change anything, it's still going to grow. I'm just not. I'm not in the world of thinking that it has to go to ESPN anymore. I'm thinking it has to go to WWF now.
Riot starts up the LCS, their own pro league. War Gaming starts up their own pro league for World of Tanks. Do you see this trend happening in the future for more developers that they look at Riot, they look at War Gaming, they're like, oh my god, these developers are investing in esports and shit's happening?
There's two parts to this. One, maybe, right, the executives realize they can run it themselves and make their own money. But two, I think that the industry went from hiring people who were schooled to do computer programming and just make this game, went to, you look at people like, you look at Riot, they hired fans, they hired some of my friends, they hired people who are experts at the game, and those people are going to be the advocates of the pro gaming stuff. Where in the past, they hired just some dude who can program his brains out, right? The developers are hiring different people. Treyarch picked up ASTRO, you know what I mean? And these are the people who are pushing esports, and esports is also on that, you know, people are, it's more accessible and there's more exposure around it, so it's a trend right now, and we'll see if it lasts through.
What do you think most likely is heading in the best or right direction to start attracting more big name sponsors, or just start getting more big name awareness?
Sure. I got to give it up for Red Bull. So Sam Keen, who did a fantastic job shaping, he was the head of Red Bull Gaming, shaped it all, and he left for NASCAR. They just hired a dude named Rob Simpson, who actually used to work for MLG and used to cast gears for me.
I remember him.
Then he went to Blizzard, then I feel like he went somewhere else, and now he's at Red Bull. But Red Bull's doing it better than anyone. And they're just oh, dude, I'm going to tie it together. And they're just borrowing the stuff they learned from like their boarding, their motocross, which is all lifestyle. They're borrowing all that lifestyle stuff they learned when they're sponsoring these boarders and BMXers or whatever and apply it to gaming. So I got to give it up to Red Bull. I don't think there's any doubt that they're cool and they get it.
This is by far probably going to be my best interview of the weekend.
You should just get a beer right now and just keep talking. Turn the camera off.
Any words of wisdom from Nexy? It could be on esports, it could be on players, it could be on attitude, it could be on professionalism, it could be on anything.
I promise you this is true. If you're creating something, if you're doing something, do it for yourself and make sure you're happy. If anyone comes over and, oh, I could be better, be like, fuck off. Dead serious. If you make yourself happy and you do it exactly how you wanted to do it, then even if it fails, you just made something for yourself. And I promise you, if you like it, a million other people like it, so you won't fail doing it that way. As soon as you have this great idea and you know it's a great idea, but you get persuaded by other people to change it around, or you start adding people to help you with it, that's when it fails. If you like something, do it that way and don't listen to anybody. I promise you it'll work and you'll be great.
Shoutouts, plugs.
Sure. Shout out to Boss Nasty. It's really nice seeing some familiar faces at these events. ASTRO Gaming. Thanks for letting me be creative, and I love you guys.
Where can people about you and what you're going to be doing in the future?
Sure. I mean, everything on the ASTRO Gaming YouTube, on the blog, and all that stuff, it usually stems from my group. So astrogaming.com, youtube.com/astrogaming, or on any of the social networks, you put ASTRO Gaming there. And my Twitter is Nexy MLG, and I tweet about random stuff. You might enjoy it.
Guys, this is motherfucking Nexy. This is sexy Nexy. Some people who have seen you from afar might have been like, well, who's that bummy guy over there? Yeah.
I come to the venue like this on purpose so people don't bother me. Yeah, and it sounds egotistical, but it's true.
That's the reason why celebrities always have to dress up and shit like that, because they don't want paparazzi all over their ass.
I'm not a celebrity. I'm just antisocial. I'm just like, I just can't hold a conversation.
I got you. Only in the Boss Nasty interviews. This is exclusive shit, man. No one else covers this awesomeness from Sexy Nexy. So happy to always see you here at events, sir. Always a pleasure talking with you, man. It just seems like there's always great insight from you. It's Justin Boss Nasty Silver, representing Call of Duty eSports. We're here at MLG Dallas 2013, the end of day 2, man. We still got a couple more interviews to do before we end this night out, and I got to transfer over this 20,000+ hours worth of content that I got, man. Probably one of the best events that I've got so far to date. And once again, Nexy, man, our guest. This dude is freaking awesome, bro. We're out. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Claim. Gamer Grub is available at these fine retailers.